Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Duke Silver and today we're going to be playing Dionysus. Now, like I said yesterday, Dionysus and Fisher King, some of my early frontrunners for favorite heroes. So what Dionysus does is every 2 times you roll, you get one of the characters in your shop upgraded, and it costs 1 less. So you don't get the treasure from it, but getting upgraded versions of characters can be really powerful. We're going to lock an upgraded Apprentice Owl there. We did see an upgraded Baby Monkey, but I'm pretty much never taking that card ever. So we just completely ignored it and took a Dwarfy there. Here we're going to take our Golden Owl for 3 gold and cast a 1 gold spell. And that's going to be our entire turn. Which, I mean, we're down a character, but the Apprentice Owl stats are going to be able to make up for that lack of unit in the long term. Here we get a, I want to say Mix-a-Whizzle, but I know that's not the right term, but that is the Storybook Brawl term. Again, I'll learn the names soon, I promise. We do get our second roll yields us a golden Pirate Gunner. I believe Pirate Gunner is the right name. And so what that does is when it dies, it has Dying Breath. Give the leftmost character in your hand +6/+4. So that's a huge amount of stats. So we just decided to play down. Like it's pretty risky, but the amount of stats we gain from that Dying Breath, I really just didn't want to pass up on that scaling. I felt like losing 1 or 2 health is probably worth it there. And yeah, we pick up an Agent of the Moon, which is a 2/4 ranged, and that's gonna be able to pick up the gunner stats here, and that's gonna be a really good one to scale. Again, +6/+4 every turn is gonna be a ton of stats. So one combat already up to 8 power, and on a range character that's just going to be extremely efficient. And we locked in. We get to play this crew member. So we're gonna hopefully this gunner is gonna die, and then give the stats to the Agent of the Moon, and then the crew member is gonna summon it, and so we're gonna get to play it. We're gonna get to play those scaled stats in our next combat. And yeah, I mean, the scaling on the gunner is really nice, but the new U, being able to upgrade that into a golden 4 is just a little bit too tempting. That's one of the strengths of Dionysus that I really enjoy, is being able to abuse new U as a spell. Like if you get a golden 3 on 3 and see a new U, turning that into a golden 4 can be such a huge power spike early if you hit something, and can give you some good direction. The Alpha Tanuki, not exactly the greatest direction. We're just going to pick up a Husky here, just get a big old chunk of stats. We're going to continue I was considering continuing to summon in our Agent of the Moon, but I remember that we had the Alpha Tanuki, and if it gets a slay, then that's going to scale our Agent of the Moon twice. Once because it's a monster, and once because it's a slay ability, and Agent of the Moon wants to see slay abilities. And so yeah, we put the Husky on the bench, and we just summon the Husky into the final slot there. It still gets its stats because it triggers on entrance. So we're going to move the crew member, which is also going to move the Husky summon. And the little Buddha icon, you can kind of just ignore. I think I moved it around just to get rid of it anyways, just in case. And yeah, we're going to pick up another crew member here, and that's just going to allow us to summon a second thing out of our hand. And we're going to kind of, I mean, there's almost no downside to getting a summon chain going. That's why we're going to lock this duelist as well. So like a lot of the endgame builds, like you just kind of want a summon chain, whether you're going to be up against like a very strong stars build, which can be beaten just by having even just like just a chain of like really dorky summons that don't really have a lot of stats, or you can find ways to really abuse those summons. And summons are extremely hard to interact with in the game right now. Like there's just not a lot of counterplay between for summoning in like large amounts of cats or just like really large pirate monkeys. So yeah, that's kind of why it's worth speculating on these summons even early. And if you have any kind of like aura buff or something, then you really get value out of those summons. All right, had a little. I was gonna cut off the video there, and then or sorry, not cut off the video. I was gonna cut to the next fight, and then realized I had more positioning to do anyways. Yeah, we're basically try and reposition, or try and optimally position here, so that we get full value out of our summons. Also, we picked up a book mage there to continue scaling our golden apprentice owl, which has done a really good job, just being a big chunk of stats for us. Yeah, we just wanted to be in the right spot to be able to summon our Husky for the most stats, basically. Considering just adding some, or casting the spell and adding some more stats to the board. None of our units like really make use of the stats, so like it's a little hard to justify. Like if we had something that that transferred its stats or something like that, then I'd be a lot more inclined to just fire it off. Excuse me, sorry about that. And yeah, we get on level 5 here, we get a golden Watson, and so regular Watson says whenever a hero dies in front of me, you get +1 hero attack, but the golden version is +2 attack, of course. So we're gonna position our summon chain. Again, this is just like one of the ways that you can kind of abuse these summon chains. So yeah, the summon chain is just gonna get us a whole bunch of hero attack. You can see just in that one fight, we spike up our hero attack quite a bit. And now we're just going to be on the hunt for Grettles and Hansels, which both scale with your attack. And we're kind of into a hero attack build here. Gonna take a quick roll. Golden Farmer there, not what we want. Again, we're just looking for Grettles at this point, or ways to like maybe improve our summon chain. Like the sleeping kitten there, and there's a way to sort of improve our summon chain. I mean, it's a treasure, and also it still summons the same amount. We actually just get more room on our board now, and we're gonna lock this shop. I don't think we're gonna take any more Watsons. That's a little bit greedy, I think, without having any having Gretel or Hansel. And there's also a golden star child, but again, we're not gonna take that either. We're actually locking just for the catnip here. We're just gonna continue throwing summons in front of Watson and scaling our hero attack until we eventually find our payoff for that, or can pivot out, because like I mean, just having a high hero attack is still very good for just keeping you alive and kind of forcing ties. I did consider the Watsons here, but eventually did decide to roll. Take a couple more rolls. There's a golden Emperor's New Clothes. Not really interested in that. I don't really take the Emperor's New Clothes ever. Just the stats just aren't really efficient. Like Shield's a pretty powerful thing, but here we find our Gretel, and you can see it's already quite large at 60-31. And yeah, we're just gonna watch Gretel get even bigger as our summon chain unfolds here. Yeah, we force a tie. We're not winning a lot of combats without finding our payoffs, but again, with this hero attack, we're almost never losing a combat just because our hero attack can kind of take down the remaining enemies. We're gonna pick up a Barbarossa. It just adds to our summon chain, and this is like the most premium summon that you can get. Depending on like how many stats we can get onto it. We could also pick up a pirate monkey. Like you can kind of just splash the sort of pirate chain into a lot of comps with almost no consequence, because you can just fit them all on your bench. We did buy the Sherlock, and then we put it on the bench just to become part of the summon chain. Unfortunately, our Watson dies before our duelist there, which summons the last two members of our team. But once again, we force a tie. Pick up a second Barbarossa there. Very happy to get a 6 pair, and there's our 6 triple. So really fortunate there, getting them in back-to-back shops. We get a look at a couple 7s thanks to our spyglass. And but we're just gonna forego that, and we're gonna take the double auras. So that's gonna basically double the size of Gretel. And of course, if we ever find any other Gretels, that's gonna increase the size of those. And there's that pirate monkey I was talking about. And like we're not finding our Gretels, so we're just gonna lock the pirate monkey and maybe hedge ourselves into a summons build. I mean, the golden Barbarossa gives double his stats to pirates in your hand when it summons them, so that's a huge chunk of stats to the pirate monkey, which is of course gonna share those stats with your board. So we're gonna happily snap that off, and we're gonna take I guess I considered taking the catnip in a bottle, but ultimately decided against it. And we get rewarded for doing that as we find another Barbarossa here. And there's a Hecate with twice as many stats thanks to the double aura treasure, twice as many stats as our apprentice owl. We sell the apprentice owl, keeping the sleeping kitten, which in hindsight is definitely a mistake. I think I sell the sleeping kitten. I mean, like, scaling the hero attack in front of Watson is cute and all, but I think we are kind of past that being our main game plan. So also we're into level 6. You kind of need to start thinking about your end game. And not about scaling so much anymore. Although, like, we are getting away with scaling still, so there's an argument to be made for just staying the course until people force you not to. We pick up a second pirate monkey there, so that's going to be a lot of stats. Captain Hook is a really powerful one. If you can get your hand to be just the pirate monkeys, then Captain Hook doubling the stats before being summoned can end up being a very powerful interaction, but with our full hand, we're just not going to be able to manipulate our hand to the point where our pirate monkeys are the last thing summoned, because of course we want to get those pirate monkey stats on the board as soon as possible. And there's a golden cabinet, and I was really tempted to pick that up, but ultimately decided to roll past it. We did make a room on our board for the crew member. We ended up selling the duelist part of our summon chain. It's just like kind of a link in the chain. It wasn't really providing a ton of value. The crew member summons 2 things, so that's why that one got to stay. All right, we find another triple for our another Barbarossa here, which is huge. And Zeus's lightning is going to be absolutely absurd. So I think this is like a suspected bug, but like apparently it's not bugged for how this interacts. Also, then we find a pirate monkey triple, and because of our spyglass, we get to see a level 5 treasure, and it's anticipating drumroll, which is exactly the treasure that we want to complete this comp. So that's going to double our monkey summon stats. And yeah, as you can see, the monkey summon comes in, gets the stats from Barbarossa. Barbarossa's stats are doubled. Give the stats to the monkey stats are doubled. And it's just ludicrous immediately. Like the numbers don't really seem to completely add up, but apparently they do. But it's just kind of unbelievable how much bigger they get. Like dropping thousands of stats from a 55 attack Barbarossa, even with the Zeus lightning. I guess the double drum roll there is just a little bit wild. I guess with the drum roll, it's probably getting the monkey stats first, and then the monkey's sort of seeing the stats it got from the original monkey, from the first entrance trigger, that is, and then adds the second trigger as well, and then yeah, with Zeus's lightning, everything's just doubled, and it's just so many stats. So yeah, we win that in very forceful fashion. We only found the 1 Gretel. We scaled our hero attack for a while, but it didn't really matter because we just ended up finding a pirate monkey and demolishing the opponent's board with a ton of stats. So pirates are a problem. I think they have some nerfs coming down the pipeline, which I think is important. I would really like to see just more ways to interact with a comp like this. I hope that they don't go the route of just making it more narrow. Like I saw somebody suggesting that it should only affect evil pirates or something like that, so it doesn't give itself the buff. Which maybe if it didn't give itself the buff that would be fine. But yeah, I think there's been, as I've said before, there's been a trend of nerfing things by making them a lot more restricted, and I just really don't like where that leads down the line. Having just a bunch of very linear comps that don't really interact well with each other, it just doesn't seem like fun to me. Like, my favorite part about this game is just navigating the shops and kind of playing what you're given. And we did that a lot in this game, as you saw. We made a few different pivots, and yeah, we found the busted comp, and just jammed that. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff I'm supposed to tell you to do. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.